Okay, hello ChatGPT. This is Thomas Stringer from the Language Learner Autonomy Research Portal, and I wanted to interview you about language learner autonomy. Is that okay?
Hello, Thomas Stringer. Of course, I'd be happy to discuss language learner autonomy with you. Please go ahead with your questions. What would you like to know?
Okay, so first of all, I think just a basic definition would be useful. So how do you define language learner autonomy?
Certainly, Thomas. Language learner autonomy refers to the ability of a learner to take charge of their own language learning process. This means that the learner is actively involved in making decisions about what they learn, how they learn it, and how they evaluate their progress. It emphasizes self-directed learning, where the learner is not solely reliant on a teacher or curriculum, but takes an active role in setting goals, selecting resources, and assessing their own progress. In essence, it's about empowering learners to be independent and proactive in their language learning journey. Would you like to delve deeper into any specific aspect of this topic?
Well, I think first it might be helpful to have a specific example to focus on. So can you provide any clear or specific examples of autonomous language learning?
Of course, Thomas. One classic example of autonomous language learning is a person who decides to learn a language without enrolling in a formal class. Here's how it might look. Imagine Sarah, who wants to learn Spanish. Instead of signing up for a course, she sets clear goals for herself, like being able to order food in Spanish in 3 months. She begins by researching online resources, such as language apps, websites, and YouTube channels that offer Spanish lessons. Sarah creates a study schedule dedicating certain hours of the week to different aspects of the language, like grammar, vocabulary, and listening exercises. She also joins language exchange communities where she can practice speaking with native Spanish speakers. To track her progress, Sarah maintains a journal where she writes in Spanish, noting down her challenges and achievements. Every month, she evaluates her progress and adjusts her methods if needed. Over time, Sarah seeks out real-world opportunities to immerse herself in the language, like attending Spanish cultural events or traveling to Spanish-speaking countries. All of these steps show how Sarah takes control of her learning, sets her own pace, and adapts resources to her needs, embodying the essence of autonomous language learning. Does that example help clarify the concept for you?
Yes, it does. It was interesting that you talked about the case of somebody learning Spanish, Sarah, you gave the example of. So that made me wonder more about different languages. Does language learner autonomy look different depending on the language that's being learned?
That's a thoughtful question, Thomas. In essence, the principles of language learner autonomy, like setting goals, self-assessment, and self-direction, remain consistent regardless of the language being learned. However, the implementation of these principles can vary based on the specific language and the learner's context. Here's what I mean. 1. Availability of resources. For widely spoken languages like Spanish, Mandarin, or English, there's an abundance of learning materials available online and offline. For less commonly taught languages, like Icelandic or Swahili, resources might be scarcer, prompting learners to be even more resourceful and creative in their approach. 2. Cultural elements. Learning languages deeply intertwined with specific cultural practices might require unique autonomous learning strategies. For instance, learning Japanese might involve understanding the nuances of honorifics or the tea ceremony, which would mean seeking out specific resources or experiences to grasp these concepts. 3. Script and phonetics. Languages with non-Latin scripts, like Arabic or Hindi, might require learners to dedicate more time to script mastery. Autonomous learners might seek out specialized tools or techniques to practice writing or recognizing these characters. 4. Learner's background. A person's linguistic background can influence their autonomy in learning. For example, a Dutch speaker learning German might have an easier time due to linguistic similarities, and their autonomous journey might focus more on nuances rather than basics. 5. Community and immersion opportunities. Autonomous learners often seek real-world practice. The availability of language-speaking communities or immersion opportunities can influence how autonomy is practiced. For example, someone in a city with a large French-speaking population might join local French clubs or attend events, while another learner in a different location might rely more on virtual meetups. So while the principles of autonomy remain consistent, the specific strategies and challenges can differ based on the language and the learner's individual circumstances. Does that shed light on your question?
Yeah, it does, actually. No, that was interesting. But it strikes me when I listen to all of the different cases that you describe that it might involve a lot of motivation for a learner to pursue these different ways of learning. Can you shed a little more light on what's the role of motivation in autonomous language learning?
Absolutely, Thomas. Motivation plays a crucial role in autonomous language learning. In fact, motivation can be considered the driving force behind many of the autonomous actions learners take. Let's delve into this a bit. 1. Intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation refers to an inner desire to learn for the sake of personal satisfaction, curiosity, or interest in the language or culture. Extrinsic motivation, on the other hand, comes from external factors, such as job opportunities, academic requirements, or travel plans. Autonomous learners often have a mix of both, but a strong intrinsic motivation can lead to sustained long-term learning. 2. Sustaining effort over time. Autonomous learning requires consistency. Motivated learners are more likely to stick to their schedules, seek out resources, and persevere through challenges. Without motivation, it's easy for learners to lose direction or momentum. 3. Goal setting and achievement. Motivated learners often set clear, realistic goals for themselves. Achieving these milestones can further boost their motivation, creating a positive feedback loop. On the contrary, lack of motivation might lead to vague or unrealistic goals, hindering progress. 4. Facing challenges. Every language learning journey has its ups and downs. Motivated learners are more resilient in the face of challenges. They're more likely to seek out solutions, adapt their strategies, and continue moving forward rather than giving up. 5. Engagement with the learning process. Motivation can lead learners to engage more deeply with the material, seek out varied resources, and immerse themselves in the language community. This active engagement often results in better comprehension and retention. 6. Self-assessment and reflection. A motivated learner is more inclined to assess their progress honestly and adjust their strategies as needed. They're also more likely to reflect on their experiences, which can enhance their understanding and skills. In essence, motivation is the fuel that powers the engine of autonomous language learning. While other factors, like access to resources or learning strategies, are crucial, it's the learner's motivation that often determines the level of autonomy and success in their language journey. Would you like to explore any other facets of this topic?
Well, I feel that you didn't address the role of teachers or educators in enhancing motivation for learners in this area of language learner autonomy. Can you share any insight on what role educators might have in enhancing learner motivation in autonomy?
Certainly, Thomas. While autonomous learning emphasizes the learner's independence, educators play an invaluable role in fostering and enhancing motivation in this context. Here's how teachers can contribute to bolstering motivation for autonomous language learning. 1. Creating a supportive environment. Teachers can cultivate a classroom environment that values autonomy, encouraging students to set their own goals, choose their materials, and assess their progress. By showing faith in students' abilities, teachers can boost their confidence and motivation. 2. Offering guidance and tools. While students take charge of their learning, teachers can provide them with tools and strategies to navigate the process. By introducing them to various resources, study techniques, or time management strategies, educators can empower students to make informed decisions. 3, setting clear expectations. Teachers can outline what autonomous learning entails and the benefits it offers. By setting clear expectations, students have a roadmap to guide their journey, reducing feelings of uncertainty or overwhelm. 4, providing constructive feedback. Regular feedback helps learners gauge their progress. Teachers can provide constructive feedback, highlighting areas of improvement and acknowledging achievements. Positive reinforcement can significantly enhance motivation. 5, encouraging reflection. Educators can introduce reflective practices, encouraging students to ponder their learning experiences, challenges, and milestones. Reflection can deepen understanding and reinforce the value of the autonomous learning process. 6, facilitating peer interaction. Teachers can create opportunities for students to interact, share experiences, and learn collaboratively. Peer interaction can provide additional motivation, as learners can gain inspiration, share resources, and support one another. 7, modeling autonomy. Educators can share their own experiences with language learning, the challenges they faced, and the strategies they employed. By modeling autonomy and showcasing its benefits, teachers can inspire and motivate students. 8, understanding individual needs. Every student is unique. By understanding their individual motivations, challenges, and aspirations, teachers can tailor their support, making it more effective and personalized. In essence, while autonomous learning is centered on the learner's independence, educators act as facilitators, guiding lights, and motivators in this journey. Their role is not diminished, but rather transformed, emphasizing mentorship and support over direct instruction. Does that provide a clearer picture of the educator's role in this context?
It does, but it led me to think some other things, like how do you balance giving support as an educator without stifling language learner autonomy?
That's a delicate and crucial consideration, Thomas. Striking the right balance between support and fostering autonomy can be challenging, but it's vital for the learner's development. Here are some insights on how educators can achieve this balance. 1, facilitator, not dictator. The educator's role in autonomous learning shifts from being the primary source of knowledge to a guide or facilitator. And this means providing guidance when asked, suggesting resources, or helping students navigate challenges, but not prescribing every step of their learning journey. 2, empower decision-making. Educators can present students with choices, allowing them to decide which resources, methods, or tasks align with their goals. For instance, instead of assigning a specific book, the teacher might provide a list and let students choose. This keeps them in control while still benefiting from the educator's expertise. 3, encourage reflection. Regular reflection sessions can help students recognize their strengths, areas for improvement, and preferences. By facilitating these sessions without imposing views, educators can help learners understand themselves better and make informed decisions. 4, open dialogue. Maintaining open communication is crucial. Students should feel comfortable discussing their challenges, successes, and needs with the teacher. This dialogue can offer insights to both parties, helping them work collaboratively without infringing on the student's autonomy. 5, adaptive feedback. While feedback is essential, its delivery matters. Educators can provide feedback that's suggestive rather than directive, prompting students to think critically about their approach and make necessary adjustments. 6, respect and trust. Trusting in the learner's capabilities and decisions is vital. While it might be tempting to intervene when they struggle, sometimes it's beneficial to let them find their way, stepping in only when truly necessary. 7, offer support, not solutions. When students encounter challenges, educators can offer tools, strategies, or perspectives to consider, rather than outright solutions. This approach empowers the learner to problem solve independently, using the provided support as a foundation. 8, Regularly assess the balance. Periodically, educators can check in with students to gauge how they feel about the level of support and autonomy. These assessments can provide insights into any adjustments needed in the teaching approach. Balancing support with fostering autonomy requires attentiveness, flexibility, and a genuine understanding of each learner's needs. It's about empowering students to take charge while being present to guide, assist, and encourage when needed. Does this approach resonate with your understanding?
Yes, it does, especially the talk about empowerment. But I noticed that you mentioned resources a lot, and I think you didn't talk about technology or the role of technology in promoting autonomous language learning, especially inside the classroom or kind of outside the classroom or in those spaces that are kind of...
You're right, Thomas. I did touch upon resources, but the role of technology in promoting autonomous language learning is indeed significant, especially in today's digital age. Here's how technology can enhance and promote autonomy, both inside and outside the classroom. 1. Digital language learning platforms. Apps and websites like Duolingo, Babbel, and Rosetta Stone offer learners a flexible way to practice a language at their own pace. They often come with adaptive learning algorithms that adjust to the user's proficiency level, ensuring that content remains challenging yet achievable. 2. Interactive multimedia. Videos, podcasts, and interactive games can make language learning more engaging. Websites like YouTube or platforms like Audible offer vast content in multiple languages, catering to varied proficiency levels and interests. 3. Online communities. Websites like italki or Tandem allow learners to connect with native speakers for language exchange. Such platforms offer real-world conversational practice, enhancing speaking and listening skills. 4. Digital dictionaries and translation tools. Instant translation tools like Google Translate and comprehensive digital dictionaries can aid learners in understanding and using new vocabulary in real time. Virtual reality VR and augmented reality AR. These technologies can immerse learners in virtual language-rich environments, simulating real-world scenarios where they can practice the language. 6. Learning management systems, LMS. Platforms like Moodle or Blackboard allow educators to provide resources, assignments, and feedback online. They can also facilitate collaborative learning through forums and group projects. 7. Customized learning paths. Advanced algorithms can assess a learner's progress and preferences, tailoring content to their specific needs. This ensures that learning remains relevant and challenging. 8. Digital portfolios. Tools that allow students to maintain digital portfolios can help them track their progress, showcase their work, and reflect on their learning journey. 9. Immediate feedback. Many digital platforms provide instant feedback on exercises, allowing learners to understand their mistakes and correct them in real time. 10. Access to authentic materials. The internet offers a vast repository of newspapers, blogs, videos, and other content in the target language. This can expose learners to authentic language usage, enhancing comprehension and cultural understanding. While technology offers numerous advantages, it's essential for educators to integrate it thoughtfully, ensuring that it enhances autonomy rather than becoming a crutch. The key is to use technology as a tool to empower learners, providing them with choices, flexibility, and the means to chart their own learning journey. Would you like to discuss any specific technological tool or aspect in more detail?
Well, I think you mentioned adaptive advanced algorithms producing personalized resources. I assume that you're talking about artificial intelligence. Can you expand on that a little bit more? What's the role of AI in fostering language learner autonomy?
Certainly, Thomas. Artificial intelligence, AI, has been a game changer in many domains, and language learning is no exception. When it comes to fostering language learner autonomy, AI offers several unique advantages. 1. Personalized learning paths. AI can analyze a learner's performance, preferences, and pace to tailor content specifically to their needs. This means that instead of a one-size-fits-all approach, each learner gets a customized learning experience that adapts over time. 2. Instant feedback. AI-driven platforms can provide immediate feedback on exercises, pronunciation, or grammar usage. This real-time feedback allows learners to understand and rectify their mistakes, facilitating more effective learning. 3. Adaptive quizzing. AI can generate quizzes based on a learner's strengths and weaknesses. For instance, if a learner consistently struggles with verb conjugations, the system might offer more exercises in that area. 4. Speech recognition. Advanced AI tools can assess pronunciation and intonation, guiding learners to improve their spoken language skills. This is particularly valuable for those who might not have regular access to native speakers. 5. Natural language processing, NLP. NLP, a subset of AI, enables platforms to understand, interpret, and generate human language. This can be used for more advanced language exercises, such as sentence formation, dialogue simulations, or even essay evaluations. 6. Chatbots for practice. AI-driven chatbots can simulate conversations, offering learners an opportunity to practice real-world interactions in a controlled environment. These bots can adapt to the learner's level, ensuring conversations are challenging yet achievable. 7. Data-driven insights. AI can aggregate and analyze data from multiple learners, offering educators insights into common challenges, effective strategies, or areas that might require additional focus. This can inform curriculum design and teaching strategies. 8. Resource recommendations. Based on a learner's progress and interests, AI can recommend additional resources, such as articles, videos, or podcasts, further enriching the learning experience. 9. Cultural context. Some AI tools can provide cultural context, nuances, and idioms, offering a more holistic understanding of the language. 10. Accessibility and flexibility. AI-driven platforms are often accessible on various devices, allowing learners to practice anytime, anywhere. This flexibility is a boon for autonomous learners. However, while AI offers numerous benefits, it's essential to remember that it's a tool, not a replacement for human interaction and guidance. The human touch, be it from educators, peers, or native speakers, remains irreplaceable in the language learning journey. AI serves to enhance this experience, offering customization and adaptability that cater to individual needs. Does this shed more light on AI's role in this context?
Yes, it does. That's really interesting to hear. I'm glad to hear there's still a role for humans in there somewhere. I'd like to switch the topic a little bit now to talk about assessment. It's a common debate in the area of language learner autonomy. Can you shed a little more light on what you think the role of assessment is in autonomous language learning?
Absolutely, Thomas. Assessment in the context of autonomous language learning is indeed a topic of much debate. The role of assessment can be multifaceted, serving both to gauge progress and to guide future learning. Here are some insights. 1. Formative assessment. Unlike traditional summative assessments, which often focus on final outcomes, formative assessments in autonomous learning emphasize ongoing feedback. This continuous feedback helps learners identify areas of improvement and adapt their strategies accordingly. 2. Self-assessment. Given the emphasis on autonomy, self-assessment becomes crucial. Learners are encouraged to reflect on their progress, skills, and challenges. This introspection can lead to better self-awareness, enabling learners to tailor their learning paths more effectively. 3. Portfolio-based assessment. Instead of relying solely on tests or exams, some autonomous learning approaches emphasize portfolio-based assessments. Learners can compile their work, showcasing their progress, achievements, and reflections. This offers a holistic view of the learner's journey, rather than just a snapshot. 4. Peer assessment. Engaging peers in the assessment process can offer fresh perspectives. Peer feedback can be valuable, as peers might share similar challenges or insights that educators might overlook. Collaborative assessment can also foster a sense of community among learners. 5. Focus on process over product. In autonomous learning, the emphasis often shifts from the final product to the learning process. Assessments might delve into how learners approached a task, the strategies they employed, and the challenges they faced, rather than just the end result. 6. Goal setting and progress tracking. Part of autonomous learning involves setting personal goals. Regular assessments can help learners gauge how they're progressing towards these goals, allowing them to celebrate milestones and recalibrate if needed. 7. Authentic assessments. Instead of contrived test scenarios, authentic assessments focus on real-world tasks. For instance, instead of a written exam on conversational skills, a learner might be assessed based on an actual conversation or a real-life task performed in the target language. Feedback over grades. While grades can offer a quantitative measure, qualitative feedback becomes more crucial in autonomous learning. Detailed feedback, highlighting strengths, areas for improvement, and suggestions can be more valuable than a mere grade. 9. Flexibility in assessment methods. Given that every learner's journey is unique, having a flexible approach to assessment is vital. This might involve offering learners a choice in assessment methods or adapting assessments to suit individual needs. 10. Technology and assessment. As discussed earlier, technology, especially AI, can provide real-time feedback, aiding in the assessment process. This immediate feedback can be invaluable for autonomous learners. In essence, assessment in autonomous language learning shifts from a rigid, standardized approach to a more fluid, personalized one. It aims to provide insights, guidance, and motivation, rather than just a measure of proficiency. While traditional assessment methods still have their place, they are often complemented or even replaced by more holistic, learner-centered approaches in this context. Does this align with your understanding of assessment in autonomous learning?
Yes, it does. It's much more personalized, much more real time, and it varies depending on the learner, which aligns with my understanding of more recent views on assessment in language learner autonomy.
Absolutely, Thomas. Personalization and real-time feedback are indeed hallmarks of assessment in autonomous language learning. These elements aim to make the learning experience more relevant, engaging, and effective for the individual. In this approach, assessment becomes a supportive tool rather than a mere evaluation metric, helping learners navigate their unique journey with greater awareness and confidence. Would you like to delve into any other aspect or topic related to language learning?
I'd like to turn to the future. What do you think are the big future trends in language learner autonomy, both in terms of research and in terms of educational practice?
Looking ahead, the field of language learner autonomy is poised to evolve in response to technological advancements, pedagogical shifts, and broader societal changes. Here are some potential future trends in both research and educational practice. 1. Integration of AI and advanced technologies. As discussed earlier, AI will play an increasingly significant role. We might see more sophisticated AI-driven platforms that can mimic human interactions, provide nuanced feedback, and even understand the emotional state of the learner to adjust the learning experience. 2. Blended learning environments. A combination of face-to-face instruction with online learning can offer the best of both worlds. This approach provides structure while still allowing learners the flexibility and autonomy to explore on their own. 3. Emphasis on lifelong learning. As the world changes rapidly, the importance of continuous learning becomes paramount. There might be a shift from learning a language as a one-time goal to seeing it as a lifelong journey, with emphasis on maintaining and improving proficiency over time. 4. Neuroscience and language learning. Research might delve deeper into how the brain learns languages, using insights from neuroscience to inform pedagogical strategies, optimizing them for how the human brain naturally acquires language. 5. Cultural and intercultural competence. Beyond just language skills, there will likely be a growing emphasis on understanding and navigating different cultures. Autonomous learners might seek out experiences that immerse them in the culture associated with their target language. 6. Open educational resources, OER. With the rise of the open source movement, there will likely be more freely available, high-quality resources for language learners, reducing barriers to access and allowing for a more democratized learning experience. 7. Personalized learning environments. Beyond just AI, We might see platforms that allow learners to design their learning environments, choosing themes, topics, and even pedagogical approaches that resonate most with them. 8. Gamification and virtual reality. The use of game elements in language learning can make the process more engaging. Combined with virtual reality, learners might be able to immerse themselves in virtual environments where they can practice the language in lifelike scenarios. 9. Research on emotional and social aspects. Beyond cognitive processes, research might focus more on the emotional and social dimensions of autonomous learning. Understanding motivation, self-efficacy, and the role of social interactions can provide a holistic view of the autonomous learning experience. 10. Holistic well-being in language learning. There might be a growing recognition of the links between language learning, mental well-being, and personal growth. Research and practice could explore how language learning autonomy contributes to a learner's overall sense of purpose, fulfillment, and well-being. In essence, the future of language learner autonomy will likely be characterized by a blend of technological innovation, pedagogical evolution, and a deeper understanding of the human experience. It's an exciting field with immense potential to reshape how we think about language education. Does this vision resonate with your perspective on the future trends?
Yes, it does. It was interesting that you mentioned some constructs like self-efficacy that are, have been commonly associated with language learner autonomy. But I want to know, are there any emerging theories or theoretical perspectives or conceptual perspectives on autonomous language learning that you can tell us more about?
Certainly, Thomas. The field of autonomous language learning is dynamic, and while foundational concepts like self-efficacy remain central, several emerging theories and perspectives are gaining traction. Here are a few. 1. Sociocultural theory and autonomy. Drawing from Vygotsky's work, this perspective emphasizes the social nature of learning. It suggests that autonomy is not just an individual pursuit, but is deeply embedded in social interactions and cultural contexts. This challenges the more traditional, individualistic views of autonomy, emphasizing collaborative learning, peer interactions, and the role of cultural norms in shaping autonomous behaviors. 2. Complex dynamic systems theory, CDST. This perspective views language learning as a dynamic system characterized by interrelated variables that evolve over time. It suggests that autonomy is not a fixed trait, but a complex dynamic skill that can fluctuate and evolve based on various internal and external factors. 3. Positive psychology and flourishing. Going beyond mere proficiency, this perspective emphasizes well-being, fulfillment, and personal growth in the language learning process. It looks at how autonomous language learning can contribute to broader life satisfaction and personal flourishing. 4. Ecological perspective on autonomy. Drawing from ecological theories in linguistics, this perspective views autonomy as part of a larger ecosystem, comprising learners, teachers, materials, contexts, and interactions. It emphasizes the interconnectedness of these elements and how they shape and are shaped by autonomous behaviors. 5. Narrative and identity in autonomous learning. This perspective focuses on the stories learners tell about their language learning journeys. It suggests that these narratives shape and are shaped by their sense of autonomy. The stories provide insights into learners' identities, motivations, challenges, and successes. 6. Post-structuralist views on autonomy. This perspective challenges the idea of a unified, coherent learner identity. It suggests that autonomy is multifaceted, and learners might display different levels of autonomy in different contexts, times, or aspects of their learning. 7. Neurocognitive perspectives. As we gain more insights into how the brain works, there's growing interest in understanding the neurocognitive underpinnings of autonomy. This might delve into how motivation, self-regulation, and other aspects of autonomy are manifested in brain activity and structures. 8. Critical pedagogy and autonomy. Drawing from the works of educators like Paulo Freire, this perspective views autonomy in the context of empowerment, social justice, and critical thinking. It emphasizes the role of education, including language education, in challenging societal inequalities and empowering learners. These emerging perspectives highlight the richness and complexity of autonomous language learning. They suggest that autonomy is not just a skill or trait, but is deeply embedded in broader social, cultural, neurocognitive, and personal narratives. Exploring these various lenses can offer a more holistic, nuanced understanding of autonomy in language learning. Does this provide a clearer picture of the evolving theoretical landscape in the field?
Yes, it does. Thank you for that overview of the theoretical perspectives. I wanted to wrap up the interview with one final question, which is, what is the most important question that I should have asked you about language learner autonomy that I didn't ask you? And then can you answer it?
That's a thought-provoking way to wrap up, Thomas. A key question that often gets overlooked, but is crucial to the discourse on language learner autonomy, is how can we ensure that the pursuit of autonomy is inclusive and accessible to all learners, regardless of their backgrounds, abilities, or resources? Addressing this question, ensuring inclusivity in autonomous language learning requires a multifaceted approach. First, it's essential to recognize that autonomy might manifest differently for different individuals, given their unique circumstances. Not every learner has the same access to resources, technology, or opportunities, so autonomy for one person might look different from another's. Educators and institutions need to be flexible in their understanding and promotion of autonomy. For instance, while technology can be a powerful tool, it's essential to have alternatives for learners who might not have consistent access. Similarly, while self-directed projects can be effective, they might pose challenges for learners with certain disabilities or learning challenges. A truly inclusive approach to language learner autonomy considers the diverse needs, backgrounds, and contexts of all learners. It strives to provide multiple pathways to autonomy, ensuring that every learner, irrespective of their starting point, has the opportunity to take charge of their learning journey in a way that's meaningful and effective for them. By addressing this question, we emphasize the importance of equity and inclusivity in the discourse on language learner autonomy, ensuring that the benefits of autonomous learning are accessible to all. Does this resonate with your thoughts on the subject?
Yes, it does. That was a very thought-provoking way to end the interview. So there's a lot of food for thought in there. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Thomas. It was a pleasure discussing language learner autonomy with you. I'm glad I could provide some insights and perspectives. If you ever have more questions or topics to explore, don't hesitate to reach out. Wishing you all the best with your work at the Language Learner Autonomy Research Portal. Have a great day.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you, Thomas. Take care and happy learning. If you ever want to chat again, I'm here.